Welcome to the Cunningham Piano Show, where we explore life between the keys. I'm your host, Hugh, and my guest today is Daniel Wu. Daniel, welcome to the show. Some of our guests are kind of shy, but I think you're the shyest one of all. So, Daniel, welcome.
Thank you.
Finally, I got some words out of you. Daniel, how old are you?
I'm 8 years old.
Are you really scared now? Am I scaring you?
No.
You just like to be quiet most of the time, don't you?
Well,
Well, how long have you been playing the piano?
2.5 years.
Wow, 2.5 years. Well, that's not a very long time. I'm very curious to hear what you can learn in just 2.5 years. Has it been a lot of hard work?
Yes.
Good. So, what are you going to play for me?
I'm gonna play Berkovich Concerto Opus 44.
Ah, very interesting. What can you tell me about this piece? Now, actually, you're going to be playing the second and the third movements of this concerto. And this is where you're going to be joined by your teacher. By the way, before we even get to the piece, what is your teacher's name?
Miss Iris.
Wonderful. I can't wait to meet Miss Iris after we hear you play. But first, tell us about, well, there's the second and third movements are very different, aren't they?
Yes.
So how would you describe, how do you feel when you play the second movement?
Well, it's basically slower than the third movement.
Okay, good. So I guess the third movement feels faster?
Yes.
But what do you feel? What do you say when I feel slower? I feel faster. What do you feel when you play those two movements?
Like, if you feel slower, it's like more sad.
Oh, okay, good. And when you play faster, what do you feel?
It's more happier.
Great. Well, look, I look forward to hearing you play the second and third movements of this concerto with your teacher. Daniel, that was a wonderful performance. I can't believe you've only been playing for 2.5 years. And Iris, thank you so much for joining us, not only in performance, but also to have a word with us. So again, bravo, both of you. Sounded wonderful.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I know your teacher's right there, but what do you really think of her?
Well, when I walk in her house, everything's like music. And when I hear her play, it's beautiful.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, that's terrific. So, Iris Blanco, again, phenomenal, not playing, but also most of the time I see people who play this kind of complex ensemble. Usually they're older or they've had many more years of experience. How are you able to teach somebody like Daniel to play this level of musicianship so quickly?
Oh, well, my belief is so important for the musicians to be able to play with someone else. It makes you a better musician. You listen more to yourself. And, when you play with someone else, you also have to listen what they're doing. It's not just about you anymore. So with my students, from the very beginning, we play duets. We play six hands. We play two pianos. With two pianos, I have a piano that you can actually play like this. And I play with them. I have a main melody, and I make them, listen to the melody and accompany myself. And they usually play also with my friends, violin and piano and cello players. And so for him, just to get here, it's just an amount of work that got him into this place, with this amazing piece. But it's something that he's been doing, from the very beginning. So it becomes very natural after a while. And I believe that every musician should do that. You don't want to wait till they're 15 to play with someone else.
And that's so often the case where pianists really are all by themselves. And when they haven't had the experience like your students evidently do, I mean, you two are so comfortable together. It's just wonderful. I really think what you're doing is absolutely innovative, and I wish more teachers would follow your example.
Thank you.
Where are you teaching nowadays?
I teach at my home. It's in Chester Springs.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, your students are so... Do you feel lucky to study with her?
Yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you both for sharing your music, for sharing your innovative teaching techniques.
Thank you so much.
And I hope to hear you again.
All right.
All right. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode of the Cunningham Piano Show. Be sure to subscribe so that we can let you know whenever we have new ones. For the Cunningham Piano Show, I'm Hugh Sung. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.